Hiya, Barbie.
Hi, Ken.
You want to go do a podcast?
Sure.
Jump in.
Ladies and gentlemen, ghouls and mansters, frightmares of all ages, and everyone else, welcome to Binging Barbie. I'm your host, Jay, and with me I have my co-host, the freaky, the beastly, and the downright weird, John.
Yeah, you want to get weird? I'll get weird for you.
If you were a monster, what kind of monster would you be?
Yeah. There you go.
Anyway, this is a podcast about movie tie-ins for toy franchises, and this week we are continuing our deep dive into the Monster High series. We will be talking about the 14th movie and the first of the Gen 2 reboot. Welcome to Monster High.
You have the wrong question. Not about what kind of monster I'd be, but what? No, I am a monster. John is a species, a monster. I'm the only one there.
I see.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Gen 2 reboot. This is quite the controversial time.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, every new generation or reboot of something is always going to be very jarring and very controversial. My Little Pony has 5 different generations, and it's always jarring when a new one comes in, and there's great debate with each generation, but it all depends on which one you started watching first, and I'm sure the people who started with this love this, so take it with a grain of salt.
I do think this is slightly more controversial because they did kind of change the aesthetics in addition to...
There's a lot of big changes in this one.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, and certain of the character dynamics and... I can definitely understand why this was maybe a little bit more controversial than most reboots. Controversial enough that it essentially led to the end of the Monster High doll line for several years.
Yeah, well...
But yeah, this was released August 27, 2016. This was actually briefly put out in theaters, and then it hit streaming on September 20, 2016. This was actually not initially the plan they had for the 14th Monster High movie. There's something called the Lost movie, which I was looking into before this, and apparently it was going to be an Ever After High and Monster High crossover.
Oh.
And they had it all storyboarded out and had a lot of the work done before they started animating it. But then Mattel switched focus and wanted to do this reboot instead. So there's a bit of controversy there as well.
Especially at the crossover, man.
Yeah.
It's such a bummer. But, okay. Well,
yeah, this was directed by Stephen Donnelly and Ollie Reed. Ollie Reed is a music video director, and Donnelly also directed a 2022 adaptation of A Christmas Carol.
Like we needed any more of that.
Yep, and this is written by Shane Amsterdam, Stephen Donnelly, and Dana Starfield. We've talked about Shane Amsterdam before, and Stephen Donnelly, obviously the director here. Dana Starfield has worked on the Barbie Dreamhouse Adventures show and also wrote Beverly Hills Chihuahua 3, a movie that will never come up on this podcast again.
Nope, not at all.
We have production designed by Emily Kelly, who also worked on other Monster High and Ever After High projects, and music by Daniel James, who is mainly a composer for video games. He did the score for Metal Gear Solid 5, along with a bunch of others.
Interesting. So it seems like we have a whole brand new slate of team members here.
Yeah.
For this reboot.
Yeah, Shane Amsterdam did write the previous Monster High. But yeah, besides that, we have a lot of new people coming in.
Yeah. Well, let's see how different the stories are for this new generation. So, starting out, we have Draculaura who lives in an abandoned castle with her father, Dracula, who I don't think we ever saw in the Generation 1
No,
show.
we didn't.
Okay. They're hiding away from the humans after some event forced all the monsters into hiding. And one day, Frankenstein shows up at their door and befriends Draculaura. The two have an idea to create a school where monsters come together and learn. They renovate the castle and begin recruiting students, slowly building the school into Monster High. Things go well until they get on the wrong side of Monica Decay. Monica, I'm sorry. Decay decides to run for student body president, promising the students she will declare war on the humans and allow them back onto the world. Dracula and Frankie instead run on the platform of peaceful integration. And Frankie and Dracula win because reasons, but Monica crashes the celebration party, kidnapping famous human pop star Tash to turn her into a monster. What? Was that the plan?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this causes a clash between Monica's army and the students of Monster High. The Monster High students prevail, and Tash reveals she's actually a monster as well. Shocker. They all have a dance party as Monica walks away humiliated.
I like that you decide to call her Moanica, like the Disney princess.
Yeah, when I saw your Letterboxd review, that's how I read it, as Monica. And it's just stuck with me. Monica.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, it's an odd origin story for the school, I will say. Having
Yeah.
Draculaura and Frankie being the founders is bizarre. Like, they're quote unquote teenagers. What do they know about
Yeah.
starting a school? But um, I guess it's a way to semi naturally bring all these characters together without rehashing of, oh, we were going to school, we meet in high school. It's much more adventurous this way. And you get to see the change of characters from their life before and what we have now, like Claudine and her family just living in the woods or the rocks, and then now they live in this school. Do they all live in the school now? Is that
Apparently.
I suppose Frankie
Yeah.
lived in a spooky house. I don't know what happened to her father. I don't know what he's up to. Is he still hiding there? I don't know. Apparently, her father is the monster Frankenstein.
Yeah.
No.
Well, this was established in the last continuity as well, because Victor Frankenstein is her grandfather.
Right, but he was a person.
Yeah.
But it's Frankenstein's monster, not the monster Frankenstein, you know? Anyway, the film is. The story is oddly put together. It's solid overall, but it's also like weird. You have Dracula and Frankie get together, and then they decide to start a school. And then there's this other plot with Monica doing her own thing, and it's just, oh, there's also them running for president in between
Yeah.
there somewhere. It's something.
It reminded me a bit of X-Men First Class, and that it sort of starts out as, hey, let's get a bunch of people together for our school, and then it switches over to like the villain shows up and we get that plot line. But I think what this is really missing is the compelling character dynamics, which
Yeah,
we'll get into more when we get to the
I
characters.
think I can see that. Yeah,
Yeah, because
I guess also like X-Men First Class, like the villain story was always going on during the actual film, like from
yeah,
the very beginning. Here, we don't really get into Monica until halfway through the film.
yeah.
So,
And the other thing with X-Men is that you have, Charles and Eric and their relationship as sort of like friends to enemies, which is what makes that movie compelling. As opposed to here, you just have Frankie and Draculaura who never disagree on anything.
Yeah, I suppose. I do like them meeting in this fashion, but then they start to build a school, and then it's
Yeah.
just odd and confusing.
I was realizing watching this, I don't care enough about Monster High as an institution to really care about the origin story of it.
Yeah.
Like, it's more interesting as the setting for good stories than it is a good story in itself.
Like we don't even have Professor Bloodgood here,
Yeah.
which is a shame.
Yeah, we're missing all of the we're missing the school, well, not completely, but well, and here's part of my issue with it is that, and it's an issue with the other Monster High series as well, where they're trying to present Monster High as like this place where everyone gets along, but then it's also still like a school. You know, they have classes that are boring and teachers that are boring, and they have bad cafeteria food. So it's
They
like
only have
this,
two teachers,
yeah,
Dracula's dad and then Claudine's mom,
yeah,
who there might be a thing between her and Dracula. I don't know.
yeah. There seems to be, but yeah, you have these like two different visions of Monster High. And personally, I'm not interested in Monster High as like the beautiful utopia where everyone gets along. I like Monster High as like the school where people have school problems.
I do like the world building aspect of okay, here it's established that humans are the main ones in control and the
Yeah.
monsters are in hiding. That was one thing that was never really clear and was kind of contradictory in the previous series. And I'm glad that there's more thought put into this world.
Yeah.
Um, I just don't think that having our two teenage, quote unquote, teenage characters being the ones to found the school, forcing the father to be a principal and create a curriculum. Um, but I guess they
Yeah.
needed a way to just build their school. I guess.
Yeah, for me I was feeling like I'm glad we have a better understanding of the world, but I don't know, it's just too Harry Potter for me as opposed to the other Monster High movies where they're kind of, I mean, the world building is a whole lot messier, but we have, they're a bit more unique in how they treat the monster world.
I think I'd be more on board with the with our characters building the school if there was already a school that existed that was destroyed when the humans took over
Mm,
in that great
yeah,
event, and then they find the remains and be like, let's start this school up again, bring it back to its former glory of monster unity, and then they do that.
yeah.
um but they didn't. They probably didn't think of that, or maybe it
Well,
was
yeah,
too much. I don't know. But
yeah. To me, it just felt very like Hotel Transylvania.
yeah, it was very much like Hotel Transylvania, like straight down the Dracula being
Yeah,
who he is, who has
and
a very quick transition kind of off screen to his accepting of things.
yeah, yeah. I don't have a ton to say about the plot as opposed to the characters here.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, I gave the story a 3.5 overall. I don't think, as it's constructed, I think it works. I don't love it, but that's not the biggest issue here.
hmm I gave it a 2.9 because I don't love the way the story is paced as well. It's just you have montage, then very slow, nothing happening, and then another montage. Now we have a villain, whatnot. I don't know, but yeah, 2.9 is what I gave it.
Now, onto the characters. I'll be honest here, they were such a letdown for me in that no one really has a particularly distinct personality.
I suppose this film is mostly about Draculaura
Yeah.
than anything. Everyone else kind of is more one note. Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, if you go back to the first Monster High movie, when we were talking about that, we had the same issue there where it's like, who are these people?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, maybe they just have trouble starting
Yeah.
things, but there should be more of just okay, this is their character trait, and we're gonna follow this character trait for the rest of the film. Instead, they kind of introduced it, and then they don't do it again later on.
Yeah. Like, I guess Frankie is the tech savvy one, but that doesn't really
That
play
makes
into
me so
anything.
sad
Yeah, that they,
because
because Gulia should be here as the tech savvy one, but no, now it's
I like
Frankie.
see Gulia is also just a very interesting character because she can't really speak normally, and
Yeah.
so she does things through her work, through her being smart, being the one who researches and does everything. And then you give that all to Frankie, who will just say everything and explain everything and just do it. It's like, oh, well, that's not as interesting. But I guess Frankie didn't really have much going for her in the other series because she was just a 16-day-old person
Yeah.
who was the audience surrogate. Here, she's the smart one who electrifies things.
Yeah. And then Claudine is just kind of, I mean, Claudine, I could never get a handle on what her defining character traits were, even in the old series. But then, like Laguna, we were finally getting some characterization for Laguna. Here, she's just kind of a little bit sporty. And Cleo is introduced a little bit more like Cleo in the old series, but then she gives up on that.
Well, like she's also not the focus of the film, so we don't
Yeah.
really get to see much about her.
It just felt like, I don't know, I was just missing that Cleo energy.
Yeah, and like we don't really have Abby. Like we do, but we don't.
I don't think that was Abby. I
I
think
th-
that's just a random other monster.
but
Because, like,
I see. I think that Yeti plus the
yeah.
little ice thing is supposed to be our Abby replacement.
Oh, both of them.
Yeah,
Yeah. Which doesn't work because they don't talk or have any personality traits.
but like Abby was so fun.
Yeah. Abby and Gulia, and like, these are important characters because they have distinct personalities.
And does Claudine have her sister Howleen or her brother Claude, or are
Apparently
they
not. No, they're,
different families?
yeah. Are
Or
they
are they
even
not in
here?
Gen 2?
Yeah. Are they like Kelly, Barbie's sister?
I know we get Claude back for the live action one, but
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't know we get him here.
Yeah, because the live action is then Gen 3, so that's even a different continuity than this.
Right.
It's just like all of these characters are just kind of nice and welcoming, and there's no sense, like, to go back to it, because I think it's a good point of comparison. X-Men First Class, you get a sense of who each of these characters are, and there's sort of these dividing lines halfway through the film that are established that, you start to see the differences in how they approach the world. And obviously, Monster High isn't going to have that level of conflict in it.
The closest thing we get is Monica and
Yeah.
the blob creature, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Job. I know that's not his name. I just been watching a lot of Arrested Development, so
Uh,
Gob looks to me like Job. But yeah, Draculaura is our main character.
she feels the most the same.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
She was missing that sort of like drama queen
Mm,
spirit, I think.
maybe.
Or not even drama queen, but like melodramatic. She needs to be a little bit more
Was she melodramatic in the previous show?
in, especially in the earlier ones. She had a bit more, because I mean, especially like the Why Do Ghouls Fall in Love, where it's all about her relationships, and
Mm.
Yeah. I think you're right though that like the last few have been she's basically faded into the background. So here we're getting a bit more of her, but I don't know. She just kind of feels indistinct from Frankie in the last show or from even like Barbie.
Okay, yeah.
Like just kind of stock protagonist in one of these things. I do like the relationship she has with Dracula, which we can talk about when we talk about Dracula. But yeah, I was thinking at the beginning when they were showing off, even just like her learning to turn into a bat, I thought that would be a bigger conflict.
But that's more so like finished right away.
Yeah, yeah,
So there's a lot of like those type of moments where you think that that's going to be a bigger thing, but then it's just resolved in that scene itself.
yeah,
So yeah, I think the father dynamic is a new thing we have for her. It's
yeah.
interesting to see. Kind of glad, even though he's kind of like Drac from Hotel Transylvania. So
Yeah, this is very like even the transforming into a bat being like a big part of the plot, which I haven't seen Hotel Transylvania in a while, but I remember that being a thing.
mm-hmm, yeah.
But yeah, Frankie is who we have up next, sort of the she's not really a foil to Draculaura because she doesn't ever go against Draculaura. She's just kind of there as well.
Yeah, she's her little support person,
Yeah.
I guess.
And her defining trait in the as established well in the last series was that she challenges tradition. But here there just isn't any of that at all.
In fact, her line in this film is "I love tradition,"
Yeah. It's just
but
like
that could just be like her trying to ease the father. But
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like we're missing that spirit of and maybe I'm being too harsh on this for not being close enough to the last ones,
Hmm.
but also like she doesn't have any other new traits to replace that here. She's just kind of there.
Yeah, she's there. She's essentially the Ghoulia smart one when
Yeah.
they need that, and then she can use electricity. And there you go.
Yep. Claudine and Laguna just no real distinct character traits. And we already talked about Cleo as well, who I like the moment with her calling the pop star's agent and trying to get this pop star to show up to the party. And then she's also tried to get Deuce to set up the lights on the stage. Like that's a classic Cleo moment. And that's really, besides her introduction, the only Cleo moment we get here.
And Deuce is less of a jock here and more.
Yeah. A
I I,
bro.
I, I don't know how to describe him. Like he's more sensitive in this one,
Yeah.
which
More
is
more maybe
interesting.
himbo.
Uh,
Not quite there, but
yeah, I don't know. He's he's there.
yeah.
He's probably there's no Heath, there's no Taurus or
No,
the
yeah.
guy. It's just him. We don't even have the nerd.
Yeah, no, it is because yeah, one of the things I've appreciated about some of these earlier Monster High movies is that they're not just about the ghouls.
Mm.
Which
There's a wider
yeah,
selection of the guys as well.
yeah.
Here it seems like we have just him, the whoever is supposedly dating Claudine, and then
Oh yeah,
everyone else
Wraith.
is just kind of different weird creature designs, which
Yeah.
we're getting more unique designs, but they kind of look like what what's that game? Skylanders?
Oh yeah. I was wondering why they looked. like similar, which I
Mm.
never played that, but I saw all of the advertisements everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
I don't know. It's just like I don't need the old characters back, but these characters just don't have any bite to them.
they
Which,
don't they don't have the same oomph to their interactions or what they
yeah,
do. They're so similar in just how they do scenes together.
I'm wondering if it is this thing. Um, Now, I haven't seen the Mean Girls remake that just came out recently, but I've heard quite a bit about it. And one of the biggest complaints I've heard is that the girls are less mean.
Hmm.
They've kind of toned that down to appeal to a younger audience. And I'm kind of feeling that here, like, especially with Cleo. I wonder if this is just kind of there's a new audience coming in and they're trying to appeal to that audience a bit. I don't know. I don't want to say more sensitive because that sounds but different sort of tastes and preferences in media. And it just feels like there's a little bit of edge that was lost here.
Maybe.
Like
Yeah.
these aren't hot topic Monster High dolls. These are like I don't know what's I guess maybe these are hot topic today, not hot topic in 2010.
Yeah. I yeah, watered down.
Yeah. Defanged to use
Sure.
a Monster High
Speaking of fangs, we have
appropriate.
Draculaura who gets
Dracula.
just yeah, him too.
I like him as the supportive father, that he's willing to go a little bit out of his comfort zone for the sake of his daughter. I think he was going to make a terrible principal.
Yeah.
Like he's just a little bit too permissive, which works when it's him and Draculaura, because he can keep an eye on her while still allowing her a little bit of freedom. When it's an entire school,
Especially if the school is his house. He
yeah.
really should be more, more strict of hey, don't do anything with those dishes or these
I
paintings.
mean, not even that. Just like I cannot imagine this version of Dracula like punishing a student who needs to be punished.
He will try and then they'll do the little googly eyes.
Yeah, it's just like, or even just like saying no to a bad idea.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because if he can't do it for Draculaura,
Yeah, he just kind of was forced into this role.
yeah,
Like he was supportive a bit after getting to know the other monsters, but he was kind of thrust into this. It's like, okay, I guess I'm the principal now.
yeah. I think if they had brought in Headmistress Bloodgood at some point, that would have been a better choice.
Yeah, I yeah, I don't know why that change happened, but I guess
I think they're just kind of like condensing things.
maybe there's no mention about a vampire council or monarchy. It's
Yeah.
just the single dad with his kid living in a castle by themselves. Apparently, Frankie lived close enough. Apparently,
Yeah.
Claudine was also close enough.
So yeah, now we should talk about my favorite character. The only character who feels like she has a distinct personality, Monica.
Yeah, she's a very contrasting personality to the rest of the characters.
Yeah. I just Like, maybe it's just that she's the only one who is different in any way, but I just had so much fun anytime she was on screen.
I feel like she's a much more effective Toralei.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Because she has a clearer goal.
Yeah, she
And just
does.
like you understand her a little bit better than Toralei.
Hmm.
And also she's just fun anytime she's around. She has an army of zomboys who follow her around.
Some boys.
I
Isn't
love
that
the
like a
zomboys.
band?
Probably. They give off very like gay fans of a pop star vibes in how
Okay.
they like follow her around, and I don't know. I just had fun with any time they were on screen, and I was very happy for Monica and
Hmm.
her army there. I would have voted for her.
Okay.
Like, bad choice, I know, but she was just fun.
I mean, she has buns, so she can
Yeah.
advertise more. I don't have
Well,
much else to say. She just had a fun screen presence
yeah.
overall, and well, like we know, she's gonna be back in the next one, so that
Yep.
should be interesting.
Yeah. Overall, I gave the characters a 1.5 out of 5. Maybe that's a bit harsh, but all of that is for Monica
Yeah,
and the
I mean,
Zomboys.
when you compare things, definitely things are watered down. For this film specifically, I give it a 3. It does what it does to fill whatever it's trying to do, and it's all right. Nothing special, but it's there.
Now, here's going to be the controversial part, the
Yeah,
visuals.
it's. I think visually, in terms of the animation, it's a much needed upgrade. It
Yeah.
just it fits. The lighting looks great. The the models themselves. We'll talk about design
Yeah. Yeah.
later. The models themselves have more texture on them. They have more to them because like the last ones, they were just reusing the same models for like 5 years,
Yeah.
5 6 years, and so you could definitely tell that they were getting to the end of their rope. I think these models are very similar to the ones we have in Barbie Dreamhouse Adventures, but
Okay.
there's a little more oomph to them here than Dreamhouse Adventures that
Yeah.
I work much better.
Yeah. I like the style here. They're going for almost like a cell shaded kind of look. Um not quite, but they aren't going for realism. They've kind of,
Even though there are some moments that could work for
yeah.
realism as well.
But yeah, the designs just have no edge to them.
They You can tell that those are the characters for the most part.
Yeah.
I think they do a solid job at trying to reinvent them without fully getting rid of those aspects, but those original designs are just so iconic that it's a little odd to see at first, for sure.
Yeah. I think for me again it's kind of down to I don't know, it just feels Disney-fied.
Yeah,
Like
I can see that.
too cutesy.
Hmm.
Whereas like I'm not a huge fan of the previous designs, but there was a bit more edge in those designs. Here it just feels, and I think that was the big complaint with this reboot overall, is that it felt like they were skewing younger and less sort of out there.
Less more gothic hot topic, more I guess, cute Hot
Yeah,
Topic,
yeah,
chibi. Not quite
yeah.
chibi, but
Heading that direction, definitely.
right. More adorables, more The Sims. You know,
Yeah,
it can
and
more to like appeal for a wider audience than one specific demographic that worked for them the most.
yeah, it feels like they've gone from the counterculture to the mainstream,
Yeah,
and I think this could have been done better. I think G3 introduces some better designs. I'm looking that up right now before I say anything. I shouldn't. Not Monster Hue. I keep doing that when I type Monster. I yeah.
well,
I mean they're a little bit better than the G2 designs. Oh yeah, like the Ghoulia G3 looks pretty solid.
yeah, and toys and animation don't always reflect things as well, but
Yeah.
it was refreshing just to see much more detail to some
Yes.
models, but yes, it was a little jarring to see at
And
first.
more color.
Yeah, lots more color.
I wish they had kept some of that edge though. Like give us the color to contrast with the edge.
Hmm.
No, I was surprised by how many action scenes there were here.
Hmm.
Which it's cool to see all of the monsters using their unique powers, but I don't know, Laguna's skateboard. I get that it's surfing, but uh, the thing is these are horror monsters. Horror monsters aren't generally action heroes.
I suppose, but we are at this point like during the height of like superhero genre,
Yeah.
like the MCU. So,
Yeah, this does feel very MCU-ish in how each of them have their powers and
mhm. Claudine can turn into a wolf,
yep.
which is I don't. Okay,
A very
it's
cutesy wolf though.
yeah, little cutesy wolf. The You were saying also in your notes that there's less spooky. The only real spooky scene we have is with Monica and our
Yeah.
first glimpse of Frankie in that house. And that's about it. Everything else is just normal.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel torn on the visuals. Cuz yeah, the quality is so much better, but the designs just aren't up to snuff. So I gave the visuals a 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah, the designs didn't really bother me that too much. For the most part, they were semi consistent. But so I give it a 3.7 because it was just a big upgrade overall.
Now, onto the performances. We actually have mostly the same cast here.
We don't have Kate Higgins as Frankie,
Yeah.
but her replacement does a really solid job. There were some moments where I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't quite sound like Frankie, but like she does a good job in most moments where it's like, okay, yeah, I can hear Frankie. We forgot to mention this in the last film because we probably didn't notice this, but Laguna in Scarier Reef was replaced with a different
Yes.
actress, and she is here as well for this film for her short moments.
Yeah, not a ton of lines for her to say. I the one performance here that really stood out to me was Christina Militia as Monica, who
Yeah.
just so much fun. I mean, these villain roles are often where actors get to kind of let loose. And I thought she really ran with that opportunity.
I will say though, that we were talking about how the film doesn't have. I'm trying to find this person. Um, any of like our characters like Gulia, Abby, others like that, and we don't have Aaron Fitzgerald in this film as well,
Yeah.
who voices most of those characters. So I don't know if that was purposeful to not include them because of her, or just a state
Yeah.
of why. I don't know, but that is what I have to say about that. I mean, everybody
Yeah.
does a solid job overall,
Yeah.
so
I gave the performances a 3.5 out of 5.
yeah, same.
Now, last up we have sound.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say this new soundtrack is a bit of a mixed bag. Some of the songs are really good. We have some very cinematic songs, like when Draculaura and Dracula are flying for the first
Mm-hmm.
time.
Yeah.
But I would say that the rest are forgettable. And there's a one song. I need to look at what I wrote in my notes because I couldn't find it afterwards. That was just horrendous. I'm curious if you know the one I'm talking about. It was
Was
played
it a
at like,
song or
yeah, song.
okay?
I don't know the title, but it's something like Go Monster High. And it was so bad.
I didn't really love the songs at all.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
but one thing about the sound of this film is that I don't know if it was just the version I watched, but the mixing was way off.
Oh,
Like the sound design, just you have the music in a lot of scenes, which is low. You have odd audio choices where it doesn't feel like it's part of the scene. Um, it just didn't sound right. You have quiet moments that are way too quiet than they should be. There's just something that doesn't match or fit. Maybe the final mix just didn't work out. But yeah, it was very distracting, very
yeah.
odd.
I didn't notice any of that, so I do wonder. This one is another one of these that we talked about a few episodes ago that is just really difficult to find.
Yeah, no, this one was much more difficult to find because nobody likes this one, so they're not trying to find ways to show people. So
Yeah. I don't know what you did, but I finally broke down and subscribed to did a free week trial of Paramount Plus on YouTube.
like
Even
the
though I
film is
already
not even.
have
Yeah,
Paramount Plus.
why is it not on Paramount
Yeah.
Plus?
It's just Paramount Plus on YouTube. It's not available to purchase anywhere. It's just that one way.
It's so odd. Yeah, but
Yeah, I wonder if these last few Monster High movies are going to go the way of
the live action is
Barbie
on Paramount
Diaries.
Plus, so we just have
Yeah.
one more one to fight with.
Yeah, hopefully Electrified is easier to find.
I don't have hopes for though, so we'll see.
But yeah.
But yeah, I had issues with the way the sound was done. Um, maybe that was just the version I was watching. I don't think so though. It sounded like somebody was an intern and doing their very best, and they were trying, but
Yeah.
it was very noticeable.
Well, yeah. I gave the sound a 3 out of 5.
I gave it a 2.9.
Well, yeah. That leaves
So,
my final score as a 14 out of 25, which is a 56% oof and a 2.8 on our 5-star scale.
and I have a 16, which is a 64% or 3.25 star rating.
Yeah. This was, yeah.
Yeah, like it. I was much more engaged just to see how different it was, but it is a little jarring how different it is, which
Yeah.
is how generations go, of course.
Well, yeah, hopefully next one is a little bit better. I think if they can work out some of the character issues, that'll help things.
Yeah, let's not focus too much on romance next time.
Well, yeah, thank you everyone for listening. Make sure to follow us on social media. We are Binging Barbie Podcast on Instagram and Tumblr, Binging Barbie on Twitter and Serialized, and Binging Barbie, a Barbie movie podcast on Letterboxd. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a 5-star review. We will be
Also,
back.
check out our Patreon as
Oh,
well.
yes, we've been forgetting to plug that. I should edit that into more of our episodes. But yeah, we will be back next week to talk about Monster High Electrified. And until then, don't kidnap any pop stars.
Who turn out to be ghosts.
Bye, Barbie.
Bye, Barbie.